Welcome. Why do we feel a sudden burst of happiness when we buy something new, only for that joy to vanish shortly after? Is our consumption a true reflection of our own inner desires, or is it merely an illusion carefully crafted by others? Think back slowly over your day. You open your phone, glance at advertisements, and consume recommended content without a second thought. At a certain moment, you think to yourself, "This looks quite good," and you place it into your digital shopping cart immediately. We often perceive this process as a natural choice. However, if we look just a bit deeper, we see a carefully designed flow. In the past, people bought what was necessary for survival. Today, we buy what we want, often without knowing the source. The problem is that we no longer even know where that want originated. Platforms analyze our tastes and habits constantly. Advertisements trigger our sense of lack, and brands touch our very sense of identity. This process feels entirely natural. We believe we are making independent choices, but the structure of those choices has already been meticulously constructed. The defining feature of this era is the industrialization of desire. In the past, industry focused on producing physical goods. Today, the production of desire itself is the core mission. Companies no longer just make products, they create narratives. The message that having this makes you a better person is repeated until we mistake it for our own internal conviction. Modern consumption is driven more by psychological satisfaction and social signals than by any actual functional or physical need. In essence, we are not simply buying objects, we are purchasing a specific image and a deep sense of social belonging. Consumption is desire, but it is also a deep-seated illusion. Desire is a natural instinct, yet its path is shaped. We feel that we want something, but we are actually learning that desire through constant exposure and social pressure. This is why a product can cost many times more just because the brand changed. Consumption is now an act of identity. At this very point, the illusion begins. Consider Steve Jobs. He didn't just create a phone, he created an identity. Functionally, the iPhone was not vastly different from its competitors, yet people were willing to pay a much higher premium. It became a symbol. People wanted to express themselves as being creative, sophisticated, and fundamentally unique. This is a prime example of where human desire and carefully crafted illusions merge to drive our collective behavior. Look at the influencer industry today. When a famous influencer uses a product, it often sells out in a matter of hours. It is not necessarily because the product has superior performance. It is because a lifestyle is projected onto it. The consumer feels they are buying a piece of that person's ideal life rather than just a physical object itself. Here, desire expands into a form of identification. This psychological bond is strengthened through constant repetition. Now, let's turn to a question of reflection. Think of something you bought recently. Did you truly, honestly need it? Or did you buy it because of who you wanted to become through that object? This question is vital for self-awareness. We often tell ourselves, "I need this," but in reality, we are following the feeling that this makes me a better person. The moment you recognize this fundamental difference, the hidden structure of modern consumption begins to appear clearly. Consumption starts with a simple need but quickly expands into desire. Desire is natural, but its path can be engineered. Engineered desire creates the illusion. These three sentences are essential for understanding the reality of our modern world. The problem isn't consumption itself, it's unconscious consumption. We must understand why we want what we think we want. The moment we understand the true source of our desire, we become the active subjects of our own consumption habits. Without asking this question, we will continue to repeat the cycle of consumption within an endless and hollow illusion. The change you will gain from this insight is clear. First, a shift in perception. You will no longer consume automatically. You will begin to think about the true source of your desire and the deeper meaning behind your daily choices. Second, a change in your choices. You will consume based on your own values rather than on simple, passing impulses. Finally, a profound change in your life. You will stop trying to prove your worth through the things that you own. Instead, you will start to define yourself by your own existence and the intellectual values that you hold dear. Ask yourself one last time today. Are you truly consuming desire, or are you just repeating a beautiful illusion? The answer to this simple question will determine the true direction of your life and your future happiness. Remember this: we do not consume objects, we consume to explain ourselves to the world and to each other. Your credit card statement might record your illusions more accurately than your true tastes. Please think twice. So, before you hit that next pay button, take just one small moment to reflect on your true inner motivation. To dive deeper into these insights through Dr. Ko's Humanities, please consider subscribing and liking this video today. We will continue to provide content that nourishes your soul and expands your mind for a very long time to come. Wisdom is not just about knowing facts, it is about understanding the deep why behind our every single action. Marketing is the hidden hand that shapes the world we see and the very things we think we truly want. The value of an object is often a psychological construct, built by stories and broad social agreements among us. Social pressure is a powerful force that can make even the most irrational choices feel absolutely necessary to us. The illusion of need is what keeps the powerful engine of modern global industry running at its full, relentless speed. Are we being truly authentic, or are we just performing a role that was defined by the brands we choose to wear? Stories have far more power over our minds than the simple truth. This is the secret weapon of the branding world. True freedom begins when we step outside the illusion and finally see the world for what it really, truly is today. Sustainable joy comes from experiences and relationships rather than from the endless accumulation of material goods. What is the true cost of the identity we try to buy? Is it worth the time and energy we spend to acquire it? Conscious living is the ultimate rebellion against a society that wants us all to consume without ever thinking. At the heart of every human desire is a search for meaning. We must find that meaning deep within our own souls. Marketing acts as a distorted mirror, showing us a version of ourselves that is somehow always lacking or incomplete. Finding balance in a world of constant excess is a challenge, but it is the true path to lasting contentment. Who are you when you strip away the brands? That is the person you should truly take the time to know. The value of enough is a lesson we often forget in our quest for more. It is the true key to wealth. Our digital footprints create an echo of our desires, which is then fed back to us by sophisticated algorithms. Choose experiences over objects. Experiences become part of who you are. Objects are just things you temporarily own. The trap of constant comparison is the fuel for many of our most unnecessary and costly material desires. Ancient wisdom reminds us that true wealth is a state of mind, not a large collection of physical possessions. Finding your true purpose is the best way to quiet the noisy and persistent demands of engineered desire. Inner peace cannot be bought. It is cultivated through awareness, deep gratitude, and mindful living every single day. The future of consumption must be conscious and sustainable for the long-term well-being of all humanity and our world. The final insight is this: you are already enough. You don't need anything more to be a complete human. Join us on this journey of discovery. Subscribe today for more insights that will change your perspective on life. Explore more using our hashtags, consumer psychology, desire or illusion, and consumer society for deeper learning today. Also look for brand psychology, behavioral economics, and self-awareness to further understand these complex structures of life. Search for desire design principles and influencer marketing structure to see how your choices are shaped by others. Thank you for watching. I am James Ko. For more information, please contact me at k903911198@gmail.com. Stay well.